Good morning, everybody. It's your girl Miracle Sims, and you're listening to God, Sex, and Love. Your daily dose of inspiration, the juice. It is June the 28th, 2023, and today the topic is reevaluating treasure. Happy Wednesday, everyone. Happy Wednesday. I hope that you all had a terrific Tuesday. Mine was just fine. Yeah, I pretty much did everything I set out to do yesterday. I had a couple of moments of significance that I guess I feel led to share in this moment, but everything else I'll probably share in the after show. Um, the thing I feel led to share is at some point yesterday, I told you all that I was going to go and assist my book client to purchase his books and whatnot. And on my way, I listened to the song that I was singing to y'all yesterday. God must have spent a little bit more time on you in sync. I felt led to listen to the song, and I listened to the song, and I just heard it in a different way completely yesterday. I'm more so started to think about this in reference to Jesus. I know people be like, oh, I don't know, but just listening to the lyrics of the song and then thinking about Jesus just took it to a whole nother level. And then after that, I ended up just worshiping and checking out that song that I've been hardcore on the past few weeks or whatever. Come to the Altar by Elevation and Worship or whatever. And it just was a beautiful moment to just reflect on. Honestly, even though like for example, as I was listening to the first song, right, God must have spent a little bit more time on you, and then I'm thinking about Jesus, right, God spent a little bit more time on Jesus, X, Y, and Z, and how I, he fit the mold of those lyrics. Even though, right, I haven't kissed him, right, or even though I haven't even seen his eyes or anything of that nature. But some people say they have seen his eyes and whatnot. That they've had spiritual encounters. Obviously, there's biblical references to his eyes and things like that as well. And I don't know, just even the thought was beautiful, though. And I guess I feel led to share that in this moment that I had that moment yesterday, and I don't know, I can't lie and say that, okay, I might not have questions every now and then and be like, is this thing real, true, and stuff like that. But that feeling that you get when you are in true worship, or if you really, reflecting on Christ and what he did on the cross and all those different things, like, that's undeniable. Like, I don't know, even without seeing anything, maybe people could be like, oh, you get butterflies or whatever. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how to even explain it, but I just was overwhelmed with gratitude reflecting on Christ yesterday. And yeah. So here I am this morning, y'all. Here I am this morning to share the juice and everything like that. And I would say a couple of things inspired today's conversation or topic. One of the things is I listened to the prayer meditation this morning, and at some point it referenced treasure. I don't think it was all about treasure, but it said something about treasure in it, and that really stood out to me this morning. And then I don't know, I got on social media a little bit after I did the prayer meditation, and I came across there's this dude I've been following lately. I think he goes by Mapalo or something like that. But anyway, he seems like to be a young guy. I don't know how old he is or I don't really know anything about him. I just know I scrolled and saw him on Instagram. But anywho, he seems to be really on fire for the Lord, like a young dude or whatever. And I guess he just hit 50,000 subscribers on his YouTube channel and things like that. And on one hand, I'm looking at it, right, and I'm like, well, that's amazing. That's amazing accomplishment, and then every now and then that little bit of, I don't know if it's envy or what, right, tries to come in and be like, oh, well, look at your views, look at your followers, you ain't even nowhere near that, blah, 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 blah. That little negative thing that comes sometimes as humans, right? And everything. And I was trying to push that out of my head and be like, at the end of the day, you know, what I do here on GSL and everything, for me, ultimately it's for the glory and honor of the Lord. And but basically I would say that it is inspiration, like this whole thing and sharing that, being honest, right, about those thoughts and whatnot that was coming across my heart and mind this morning. Um, I guess is what ultimately led me to this conversation of reevaluating treasure. Um, Now I've already gone through a journey of like kind of reevaluating what success looks like and things like that. And sure, I was gonna say, sure, I still have goals, sure, I still have dreams, like, and things like that. And y'all know that we just hit some major milestones here on the GSL channel, and everything. But even with hitting the goals, and I know my husband was celebrating and whatnot. And not to say I wasn't, but I just was. It's just like, okay, you know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, what I would love to see for GSL, like whether we hit billions of subscribers or not, right? It's just for people to know that we're here and to know that like the content that we create is available. That's more so than anything. And to be able to continue to create the content, and more content, that's my motivation in some ways. I think throughout life, my motivation has been like to just use my gifts, all of my gifts and things like that. And I'm a living witness, like especially in these days and times, your gifts truly will make room for you. Like even just yesterday, my sister, shout out to my sister again, man. Listen, she keep her my name on her lips apparently. She shared my information with, I guess, a friend of hers, and to get some help or assistance with marketing and whatnot, a marketing service basically. And I made it happen for her and whatnot. And the lady seems to be very pleased and thankful and things like that. And so your gifts will truly make room for you. Like who knew back in the day, like all the different skills that I was learning throughout school, all the different things that I was doing for my mom growing up. That I would be living and using these things to live off of now, and everything like that. It's a beautiful thing. Again, being an entrepreneur and all this stuff is a beautiful thing. And of course, you want to, build wealth and build generational wealth and be a good steward over the things that God gives you, right? And everything like that. All of those things can be our motivation for building treasure or whatever the case is. But I don't know. I guess I just took some time this morning to just reevaluate this whole idea again of treasure. Like, yeah, you can build all the wealth, and it's good, I think, to build generational wealth and things like that. All of that is great. But at the end of the day, we can't take any of it with us. I know I talked to you all some juices ago. I don't know when it was, but I shared with you guys about the situation about the land and on my dad's side of the family. When my grandfather purchased the land, I don't even know if he told anybody his vision for it. And I'm sure it wasn't the vision that is actually happening right now. But the thing is, but it's a beautiful thing, right? To be able to say, okay, I've passed this down to the next generation, and prayerfully the next generation will do something with it and continue to bear fruit and things of that nature. So yeah. So, I mean, I guess, again, that's where the inspiration comes from today in regards to reevaluating treasure. And I hope that, these things will encourage you and inspire you in your life. So let's get into it, y'all. Here go these verses, okay? 1 Corinthians 15:58. It says, therefore, my beloved brothers, be steadfast, immovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord, knowing that in the Lord your labor is not in vain. That's one of the things that, not to say I struggle with, but I think it's one of those things that the enemy tries to use as a temptation for me, right? To be like, again, like the whole comparison game, right? Or to do the whole thing where it's like, oh, well, you ain't reaching that far, you ain't getting them views, you ain't getting them subscribers, you know what I mean? Like doing that type of stuff so you feel like, right, the work is in vain, especially when you're doing something for the Lord, and you be like, well, is this worth it, or whatever the case is, but I guess I'm a living witness, as well as the Lord will show you if he wants to, right? He'll allow you to see, how your works is beneficial or whatever. But regardless of if you see the fruit or not, the Bible tells us, and what this verse is saying here, that when you do work for the Lord, it's not in vain. Even if you reach just one, that's a beautiful thing. Like, at the end of the day, like, let's not despise small beginnings. Let's not look down on the move of God just because it may not look like somebody else's journey or ministry or whatever the case is. Like, just you sharing a post could be, the change of somebody, in somebody's life, or about somebody's day. I shared with you guys that last week. A post apparently that I shared, my cousin was affected by, and whatnot. Maybe you just smiling at somebody. Even today, as I was going deeper, I just kept seeing the example of, if you give a cup of water to someone, like, even that is rewarded in heaven, and so it's just one of those things to think about. Like, what are you truly valuing? What is your motivation at the end of the day? And just reevaluating this whole idea of treasures and things like that. But let's keep going. That's just the first verse. Let's keep going, y'all. So then we got Luke 12:34. It says, "For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also." So that's why we got to do that heart check. Make sure, like, what is my motivation? Like I sat here and just showed y'all, or told y'all, like, again, my motivation back in the day, I wanted to perform for a living, things of that nature. But my motivation now is to do the will of God, use my gifts and talents to keep upbuilding his kingdom in whatever way that may be. Whether it be me creating music, me creating more shows on this platform, me creating movies, whatever it is, I want to use my gifts and talents for the glory and honor of the Lord. Now, and yeah, I mean, so where your treasure is, there your heart will be. So, if you're all about the opposite, right? If you're all about just you, yourself, or whatever the case is, you can build all the wealth you want, right? But at the end of the day, that's your reward, according to the Bible. Like, whatever your applause that you get, whatever awards that you get, whatever you get on earth, and you do it all for your own glory, and you're gonna get your reward with that. And I guess don't expect no reward otherwise in regards to the afterlife and whatnot. And that's the other thing too. Like, I don't think we value that idea of an afterlife. I don't think we value that this idea of having rewards in heaven, because we want rewards now. We're like, oh, I want to receive or live better, or whatever the case is. I want mines now. You only live once, da 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 da, right? But the Bible is telling us a completely different thing. It's telling us that we will live again. It's telling us that we are eternal beings, that, we're just having a, temporary experience right now, and we will move on elsewhere. And I guess how you decide to live here is going to dictate, where you go and things of that nature. So I don't know, just a reminder for us to do a little heart check every now and then, and just remember, that, like this verse says, where our treasure is, that's where our heart is. So then Proverbs 2:4-5, it says, "If you seek it like silver and search for it as for hidden treasures, then you will understand the fear of the Lord and find the knowledge of God." So, there was a lot of verses that were standing out to me this morning. Some of the verses that I know I've shared before, but this is one that I came across that was kind of different, to me, at least in this moment today. And basically, it showed me, I guess, another form of treasure, right? It's saying here that the fear of the Lord, understanding the fear of the Lord, and then finding the knowledge of God, like, those are the hidden treasures. And it's saying here, if you seek it like silver and search for it like hidden treasure, then you will understand the fear of the Lord and things like that. Like, do we value that? Like, I don't know if we do. Like, I mean, hey, it's been a beautiful experience for me to be seeking the Lord every day. I'm like, getting more wisdom, knowledge, and everything like that. How to handle situations, all this stuff has been a beautiful experience. Um, and I feel, blessed by it, right? But I don't know. I guess what's standing out to me this morning while reading this verse is like, instead of just, seeking silver, seeking gold, seeking earthly treasures, why don't we seek the true treasures of life, which is wisdom and understanding and knowledge and things of that nature. Speaking of that, we got Colossians 2 and 3. It says, in whom are hidden all the treasures of wisdom and knowledge. So if I think about that last verse, it ended with find the knowledge of God. And then it said, and then if I continue with this verse I just found, in whom are hidden all the treasures of wisdom and knowledge. So what I'm receiving here is that all of the wisdom and knowledge is in God. Like, again, this is what the Bible tells us as well. Like, if you don't have wisdom, seek him for the wisdom. If you need, more understanding, ask him and you shall receive X, Y, and Z. I mean, I guess when we reevaluate this idea of treasures, then it seems like, we'll start to see like what's really valuable at the end of the day. Wisdom is more valuable than money, because wisdom can allow you to make infinite money. You know what I mean? Like, having knowledge of something is better than gold, right? Because you can have gold and then lose the gold. But if you have knowledge of how to get the gold, then you can forever to get the gold, just things of that nature, y'all. I mean, and even if we think about, that's just from one earthly point of view to just talk about, I guess, those two things. But even again, just the peace that surpasses all understanding is just way more valuable than anything that we can that we have here on earth, honestly, to me, in my humble opinion, in this moment. Like, because again, for instance, like the way things are for me right now, instead of me being stressed about funds and stressed about bills and stressed about whatever the things that I could be stressed about in this life, I'm more so like, okay, well, I've seen God provide in ways that I don't even like. I couldn't even imagine. Like, again, who knew that my sister was going to tell her friend about me and my services, the things that I can do, and then that was going to bring me some funds this morning. You know what I mean? Like, it's just things like that where, again, that I guess that's another example of how knowledge, right, and wisdom is valuable. So instead of making light of that, I think we should, again, reevaluate treasure. Like, instead of just thinking about money, why don't you think about skills, knowledge, wisdom, getting something of substance to assist you with the money part. Like, money's important, I guess. It's a nice tool. I think that's another thing too. I've been switching my mind when it comes to the way I look at money and whatnot. Like, I'm okay with spending money, because it's like, okay, what am I spending it on? At the end of the day, if I'm going to be investing, right, or something of those lines, then I don't mind. Obviously, we got the food and the shelter and all that and stuff to, think about as well, and things like that. But it's just, I think maybe we need to be reevaluating all of this stuff, to be honest. But anyway, let's keep going. Isaiah 33 and 6, it says, and he will be the stability of your times, abundance of salvation, wisdom and knowledge. The fear of the Lord is Zion's treasure. So there you guys go again. That's saying what true treasure is at the end of the day. I don't really even have anything to add to that. I mean, he's saying, he will be the stability, the abundance of salvation, wisdom and knowledge, the fear of the Lord. These are the things that we should be treasuring and should hold up for value, right? Or should be valuable to us. I don't know. I ain't got nothing to say about that. Anyway, Proverbs 3, 13 and 14. It says, happy is the man that findeth wisdom, and the man that getteth understanding. For the merchandise of it is better than the merchandise of silver, and the gain thereof than fine gold. Listen, I done said this all morning. I done said this multiple times this morning. I mean, there you go. I mean, you can value, money, you can value all these things on earth, and or you can value the things that are truly valuable. And I mean, I guess ultimately that's the juice this morning. I hope that you all are encouraged and inspired to reevaluate your idea of treasure. You guys can go deeper. I actually went to gotquestions.org this morning. I read several articles, but the only one I felt led to kind of share with you guys right now is the one that said, how can we store up treasure in heaven? So I hope that you guys check out that if you feel led to go deeper about this or whatever. I mean, there's plenty of verses in the Bible as well. If you guys want to, another thing that I did that I didn't write down, if you guys want to do it, you guys can just go to openbible.info and then just plug in the word treasure. Plenty of verses will come up, and you can peruse them and let them marinate on your heart, souls, and minds. Now, the Bible verse of today is Matthew 7:12. It says, therefore, all things whatsoever you would think, even should do to you, do ye even so to them. For this is the law and the prophets. Friends, I hope you all enjoyed this juice this morning. Thank you so much for listening to God, Sex, and Love, your daily dose of inspiration and juice. I pray you guys can go forth and have a wonderful day, and I look forward to talking to you all tomorrow, if the Lord's will. Bye-bye. There you go, Facebook, YouTube, Rumble, anybody listening to the sound of my voice. I hope that you all are encouraged and inspired. Thank you so much for listening, watching, subscribing, and sharing all those wonderful things. Like I said, I hope y'all are encouraged and inspired by this conversation about reevaluating treasure. I know it's so easy to get bogged down in life about like all the stresses of life, right? We got bills, we got, children, we got to eat, there's all these different things. But, the Lord tells us not to worry about those things. He will provide for us and take care of us and things of that nature. Again, I am appreciating this time in my life because it's allowing me to see God move in a variety of ways. By being in the position that I'm in. Like, I'm grateful, don't get me wrong now. I'm grateful for the part-time position that he put me in when it comes to the church this year. But because I just shared this multiple times, but just in case somebody's watching and y'all don't know, basically, long story short, since 2019, between 2019 and 2023, I haven't been working the way I usually would work, in regards to working at other people's businesses and stuff like that. And I've only been doing either what I call my hustles from home, which is just things that endeavors that I've invested in, marketing those endeavors. I launched the GSL platform. In that time, I started to write my books and things like that and publish those, which has been another blessing. Again, see, learning skills, getting knowledge and wisdom and whatnot, has paid over and over. I don't even know how many times fold at this point. Because there's been a variety of people that I've helped to make books. There's been just so many different things where the Lord has provided in ways that I wouldn't even imagine. So I'm thankful. I'm thankful to be in this place. I'm excited about whatever the Lord wants to do with me, for me, and through me. I'm excited about this platform of GSL. I thank each and every one of you all for tuning in, listening, watching, subscribing, all those things. Again, we haven't even hit 1,000 yet, right? But on the flip side, in regards to 1,000 subscribers, but I'm not worried about it. I'm not. At the end of the day, I'm just glad that those of you all that know that we're here, at least you know what I mean? At least you know that there's content available if you're seeking content that we create here. And like I said, I just want to continue to do more. That's it. Like, as long as I'm able to do what I need to do to keep this thing going and flowing and growing, right? Then that's all I really care about at the end of the day. So all the rest of it is just like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Because even, for example, when we hit the whole becoming a partner thing last week, right? I know one of my friends, I told y'all, one of my friends was like, so what's next? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm just trying to bask in the moment of, us hitting this. Cause again, y'all know old Miracle would have been like, what's next? Right. But me now, I'm just kind of more so like trying to just take each moment as they come and appreciate each moment and things like that or whatever. And so, but then when I did start to do what was quote unquote next, um, yeah, okay, hitting 1,000 subscribers would get you to another level on YouTube. And then outside of that, when I had a chat with, I guess a YouTube person or whatever, basically they were saying, I guess the next thing is to hit goals where you get awards. I mean, I don't know if that'll elevate you or something to get a YouTube award. I don't know. But on the flip side, I'm like, okay, you know what I'm saying? So what's that gonna do? You know what I'm saying? Like for me, the best thing I would think for us to hit goals where we're quote unquote getting awards is to know that there's more people that see and know and understand that we're here. That outside of that, I don't know what else would be of significance, to receive a YouTube award, So it's just one of those things. Like, what are you going to value at the end of the day? Like, what are you going to see as treasure? Yeah, I could sit here and be like, yeah, I'm trying to hit the pink diamond on YouTube. Like, I don't even think that's the thing. So that's why I said it. But, I could be like, yes, that's my goal. I'm working hard to get the pink diamond on YouTube. But I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Well, I'm thankful though. I'm thankful for this new mindset, right? I'm thankful for, the renewing of my mind, the renewing of my goals and everything. So, like I said, for me, I think again, my main thing is as I reevaluate treasure and I guess share with you guys the vision, right? I guess for me is just yes, I would love, of course, to keep going, growing, and everything like that. But the reasons why for me is for one, for us to continue to create the content that we're creating. Two, to create more content centered around these topics, not just God, sex, and love, but just for the glory and honor of God in general. Three, yes, I got music and whatnot. So shout out to you as well, because I know you've been commenting and complimenting when I sing and whatnot on here. I do have music and stuff that I know I need to get out because honestly, I feel like stagnant in regards to making new music because I'm like, I need until I get the music out that's been in my head for years. I just haven't even attempted to really create anything new. So there you go. So that's something, that's a goal for me. Yes, I want to make movies and whatnot as well. So, that is another goal. Yeah, I got more book ideas that are centered around some of the books that I already have established. So we're gonna see what the Lord do with all of that too, and everything like that. I don't think I have any other businesses to launch because yeah, listen, I got shoes, I got wine, I got, the polish now. I don't know if I'm necessarily trying to launch another business. But I'm thinking about like the different things when it comes to this, you know what I mean? And all of these, everything's connected. So that's another thing as well to think about. In my head, at least, I know it looks like a lot of branches that's coming from me, but I feel like they're all connected in some beautiful way. And so, yeah, like that's what it's about. Like, and can I continue to pay the dream team? Can we expand the dream team? Can we, you know what I'm saying? Like that's really it. Like as long as I'm able to, we sustain our household, we work on the things that, there's things that, me and my husband want to work on and whatnot, obviously, quote unquote, generational wealth, things like that, stuff like that or whatever. But I don't think that has anything to do with my endeavors directly, but maybe it does. I don't know. But yeah, it's not that I'm trying to get the pink diamond, you know what I'm saying, on YouTube. Like at the end of the day, if we reach it, cool, you know what I'm saying? If we get that, great, but for me, it's more so about like just letting y'all know that we're here. Because again, those of y'all that have been seeing the video of me answering the question, why did I get into podcasting and things like that? You guys know that ultimately I started this whole journey, or I started getting on YouTube, sharing my life or whatever, because I wasn't seeing the type of conversations that we have here, open, honest, and transparent conversations about everything, from a Christian perspective. And yeah, so that's the inspiration. We're gonna see what the Lord do and everything like that. I'm thankful for those of you that have subscribed and shared and everything. And yeah, just giving y'all a little sneak peek, at least in my head, of what I think the vision is. We're gonna see what the Lord do, because listen, He is the one in control. So, but all right, y'all have a wonderful Wednesday, and I look forward to talking to you all tomorrow, if the Lord's will. Bye.